How you doing, gardeners? Ed Snyder with Fresh Picked Acres of Kansas, and I'm happy to have you along today. We have a lot of new subscribers. We're very happy to have you. This channel is based upon vegetable growing, and we talk about our market garden that Delia and I run, but we also want to share with you, any insights that we do, show you what we do, and let you make a decision whether or not this is something that we're doing that's good for you. Those types of things. We also want to bring you in touch with different folks that I think can also benefit all of us in the long run. We're right here and it's very cold. We're talking 0 degrees. Many of you are getting this. We're going down to actually, I think, negative 16 degrees in the next couple of days. So it's doggone cold. And but as I sit here in the warm home and everything, I'll show you a picture of Delia here when we went to Niagara Falls. And the reason I'm showing you this is here we are in January, and it kind of feels like everything is piling on top of you. Everything is getting in the way. And you can't do nothing about it, no matter what you do. Now, granted, Delia could just step out of the water, and that would have been good, but it wouldn't have been any fun. We need to go ahead and think about what our game plan is in the new year. And one of the tools we did receive was our soil test back. I went through Midwest Laboratories. I set my soil sample in there. I'm going to put that on the screen, and I'll show you kind of how this soil test looks. Just if you have never seen a soil test before, I'll show you how this is. If we work from the left, that's a lab number on the left side, but then you're going to see a sample identification. Now that's what I called it. And the reason, and if you notice, I have the topic of sweet corn, pumpkins, watermelon, green beans. Now those topics right there are what I put on the bag. That is what I'm going to be growing there this year. I'm going to grow sweet corn. That's what that was. Last year, that sweet corn happened to be pumpkins. That doesn't matter. It was pumpkins, as that was the previous crop right there. So anyway, let's get back to it. But you're going to notice that the NPK are listed out for each of my soil samples listed, and you're going to see also, there's also products that not just potassium, but we're going to talk about calcium, magnesium, sodium, pH of the soil, the buffer index, all those types of things. Now, I've already gone to Harveyville Seed. He's the company that I buy my dry fertilizer from, and wonderful group to be able to sit down and talk to. I give him a copy of my report, and we come up with a game plan. We talk about the acreages, such as like pumpkins. We're looking at 1 1/4 acres, and with sweet corn, looking at 1 1/4 acres of pumpkins. Watermelons, we're looking at close to about 1/2 acre. So when I go to fertilize, I need to have the right fertilizer for the right area of my farm. I know I'm a small farm, but we need to be able to have that properly. Now, one thing with fertilizer that I want to at least say that there is what they call a maintenance line. There's you want to have your pH at a good maintenance level. You need to have your potassium and phosphorus at a good maintenance level. We don't need to overkill it. So there's going to be things such as some phosphorus in some spots. Well, I don't need any phosphorus there. And different crops, we have different requirements. So that's what part of it is. So on the back side, and we're going to go back to it, there is Midwest Lab gave me some soil fertility recommendations and it goes by pounds per acre. So you can scan across here, and you can actually see where my intended crop was sweet corn and my previous crop was pumpkin. And so of course it gives what they feel would take in additional fertilizer for me to be successful in 2024. One thing that's kind of something there you might take a look at, something like my snap beans on the nitrogen lower on the lowest level, you'll see like nitrogen, it's 0 recommendation. Well, it's because I don't need any nitrogen for green beans at that location, so they've omitted that. And you can also see things like in my phosphorus area that, that it's not required for my sweet corn ground because I happen to have enough phosphorus there. So we can save money in those locations, and I don't need to add something that I don't need to add that for that particular crop. This is a way for you to go to your fertilizer guy and say, here's my situation, here's my acreage, here's my square feet, that type of thing. An acre of land is 43,550 square feet. And say we're talking about a high tunnel that's roughly 1/10 of an acre. You would take that per acre amount divided by 10. That will give you your pounds per 1/10 of an acre. That type of thing. So that's how I use this information. And I am also going to talk. I got a call out on the Miller fertilizer, liquid fertilizer rep to have them give me a call. I want to understand. Also, in conjunction to this, we're going to be using a lot of drip irrigation this year, and I'm going to need to have some recommendations of what do you want in the beginning. This is their product, so you tell me how you best suggest I use your product. So I have my idea how I want to do it. I would love to hear from the Miller rep, and certainly if I can have something I can share with you, I will certainly do it throughout the summer and talk about it, because I'm going to write it down here because it's very important there we get it right. It's very important to do it right every time, right? And now that it's cold and everything else, we might as well focus on this, because we're going to be planting tomatoes right here in about 2-3 weeks. So it's hard to believe we're at that time that we're going to be planting again. So anyway, gardeners, glad to have you along. Like always, come grow with us and hit that like and subscribe.